everyone. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Convos with Diddy Reels. I'm Adiola, and what we're going to be discussing today, we're going to be talking about a book called The Alchemist. This book is This book is one of the best sellers and was on the New York bestsellers list for over 300 weeks. That's awesome, right?
Wow.
Yeah, it was that
That's
good.
a big deal.
And it's the most translated book ever. If you don't understand, that's fine. We're gonna go over. We're gonna go over it. And my guest that's here to talk about that book with me is Dr. Sara Lange. Hi, hi, Sara. Do you mind introducing yourself, please?
Yes, of course. Thank you so much for having me, Adiola.
You're
It's a pleasure
welcome.
to be here with you. Hi, everyone. My name is Sara. I am Adiola's friend, and also we met through like a very interesting journey, and we, kept in touch.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite books, and honestly, can't wait to dive into it with
Oh,
you.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to give you guys a brief summary about this book if you have not read it before. And also, Sara runs her own book club for everybody. So if you guys want to hit her up, and she owns her own business too, a nutrition business. Look at her. She's drinking some nutritional shakes right there. So if you're looking
Thank
into
you.
health and wellness, you can always add Sara and reach out to her. She's that
Thank
amazing. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So a brief summary about this book. The book was written by a Brazilian lyricist and novelist called Paulo Coelho, right? And the book talks about a young shepherd named Santiago. And Santiago is from Spain. And what always happened in this book, Santiago always had repeated dreams that he had a treasure in Spain, in Africa, in the pyramids of Egypt. So he had to decide is he going to follow his dreams or is he just going to ignore it? But at the end of the day, he decided to follow this dream and go and look for his treasure, right? And during this journey of trying to find his treasure, Santiago went through a lot of adversities, and he learned a lot. But at the end of the day, he did find that treasure. And not only did he find that treasure, he also he got wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and also found love during this journey, which I think is beautiful. And a lot of people have actually said this book changed their lives, including celebrities like Madonna, Pharrell, and Will Smith. A lot of people have good things to say about this book. So Sara, I know you love this book as well. So please
I do.
yes, I know you do. Yeah. Tell me why. Do you mind telling me why you agreed to, why you agreed that this would be a great book for us to have this discussion with?
I really like this book because first time that I came across this book, I was 17, and I had a very closed mind toward the world, I want to say. There were certain things that I wouldn't understand. Like I said before, there was like my life BA before Alchemist and AA after Alchemist. The amount of change that it has really created in my life, it really was tremendous. And the reason is that at that age, with being so close-minded that I was at the age of 17, I couldn't fully understand why people do have certain careers. I always thought there are there's 3 categories of careers, everyone should be in that. If you're not in that, oops, but learning about reading this book and learning more about it, I understood that everyone has their own path, and it should be respected the same way that everyone else in their own path as well. So it really was very eye-opening to me. It made me understand how people enjoy certain careers, and also how it is so life-changing, and it is their passion, it is their path in life. It was honestly very eye-opening to me.
Absolutely. Glad that you shared that. It was an eye-opening book for me as well. And something that the book talk about is for Santiago, the shepherd boy. He goes in search of his own personal legend, right? What is a personal legend? Do you mind explaining that for everyone that don't understand that?
I think to me, personal legend is something like someone's mission and purpose in life. It is something like that. So it is very actually important to learn and know what is one's personal legend is, because that's when that person is going to be walking through that journey and also achieving that is what is going to make that person the happiest. So that's why I think that's what the author meant by personal journey, and that's why I think it's really, really important.
And when we talk about personal legend, you said it's like your mission in life, your purpose, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can
Right.
somebody find their purpose, like their own personal legend?
Right, especially this is actually a really good question, especially if someone is, was put in certain situations based on like, their family or like the friends or environment that they grew up. It's really important to like figure out how, but the question is actually how you find what is your personal legend, right? So I think when someone like there's moments that someone is like, moments of quiet, that someone is, like not doing a lot and just like thinking and have this sort of type of passion that they know like they have to, there's this voice inside you, you have to go after a certain, goal in life, like something is made for you. Most people don't go about it. But I think it's really like important to like just pay attention to voices that like you hear, that like voice in your head, like ideas. Sometimes it can, across different ways for different people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think it is tailored to that person's personality. So it is in a way that person will understand this is it. Now this person may, ignore it. That's another topic. But if you just pay attention and you're a person that you ask for signs, omens and stuff, you will find out what it is and you can go after it. And sometimes it is not clear right away. Sometimes you have to like walk in the journey a little bit before it like makes itself clear. So I think once someone does make an effort, the way becomes more like a path will become more clear.
You mentioned there's that voice in your head, right? I agree. There's a voice telling you like this is what you're kind of meant to do. This is what you should be doing. But something that
Right.
I noticed, yeah, there's that voice that keeps even it could come today and then years from now it would come or every other time. So one
Right.
thing that I've always wanted to know is a lot of people shut off that voice. They
Right.
do. Why do you think they shut off this voice that's telling them go, this is what you're meant to be doing, go after your dreams? Why do you think they shut off this voice?
I think honestly the main reason for most people like why they don't like succeed in certain ways or they don't like reach where they want to reach in life is like that underlying fear, right?
Mm-hmm.
So your mind likes what is familiar to you and doesn't like what is not familiar, right?
Right.
So you'll have to like make what is unfamiliar familiar for your mind to like it. That should be the process. Most people are already like so scared of like moving forward, and just like most people are scared of like just failure alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that alone has to be dissected in someone's mind and be like, okay, like what is failure? What is like that we are considering failure? So because to me, really, there most things that people do consider failure are not failures. They're just steps towards success, but people are so scared of it. And sometimes people quit when they're so close as well. But people are so scared of it that like they fail or they look bad or they make a fool of themselves that they don't take any actions. So I think it's really, really important to understand, recognize that fear. Once that you recognize it, we know it is there. We know it is a human mechanism, right? It's a survival mechanism. We
Yes.
know that it is survival pattern. So once we know that, we know we're surviving. We have food, water, all those like shelter, all
Mm-hmm.
those things. And all we have to do is like put more energy and effort toward our, personal legend, even if we do have a full-time job, even if we do have like other responsibilities, we still do dedicate some time, put some time aside for it. So we make sure that we do it. It's going to be uncomfortable. I tell you from now, like before even someone starts, I want to tell you it's going to be really uncomfortable, especially when you don't know how to do things. I find that like really overwhelming because when you don't know and you're like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to make a fool of myself. It's going to be bad. But it really isn't that way. And you have to go through those steps to become a professional in whatever that you're doing, right? Like I gave you an example before.
We kind of missed the last part where you were talking about like when you first started your business and
Yeah, so what I was saying is, I was saying when I started my business is that like there were so many things that were so scary to me, and didn't know how to be a professional, so we didn't know many things. And I had a conversation with my neighbors, and it went like horribly wrong. So so I was like beyond embarrassed, like I was mortified. Okay, and like I still to this day I feel really awkward going talking to her. Like it was really bad. But you know what, it was, heck, it was part of the journey, and it will happen. I don't look at it as a failure. I look at it as, you know, step toward my success. I look at it as, you know, something that it will never happen, something like that, and I will know how to manage someone like that. So it does happen. It is normal and things like that, and that's what we are actually scared of most of the times. We're scared of like being embarrassed in front of other people, like feeling that, oh my gosh, like I failed and people saw it publicly. You know, that's one of those things. So I think we'll just have to like make peace with ourselves and know that that's not going to happen. Now, if we look at it differently, if we look at it as not as a failure, but a step towards success, that's when we'll succeed.
Because in life is going to throw a lot of things at you, and you just have to keep going. Yes.
Exactly. And Santiago's story as well, right?
So that I didn't hear that.
I was saying in Santiago's story as well, right? Like he got robbed, and that was like he lost all of his money. So it does happen. We just have to like, you know, be aware of it and like handle it better.
Yes, because Santiago, he went through a lot. He could have given up. In the book, Santiago could have easily given up, but he kept pushing towards finding his treasure, which I think is really, it's a really inspiring book. And something that helped him on his journey, right, was that Santiago learned the language of the world. He learned, he started following omens to find his treasure. Do you mind, can you explain what omens are?
I think omens are like, you know, signs from the universe, and it like literally doesn't have to be like a sign. It can be, you know, someone coming talking to you. It can be like a picture. It can be a book you come across. Like, you know, I told you about that book that I like just randomly came across. So there's this book, and my journey to becoming a pharmacist. I randomly bought this book, and I'm not a Christian person, but the book was a Christian book, and I didn't even know. So I just like came across. I was like, it says positive. Let's buy it. So I bought it. I brought it home. And I was like, and I put it aside. I never looked at it. And when I was going through my journey and, you know, taking all those tests, like doing the board exam and all those, I randomly came across the book. And I was like, let me like look at it. And I would like literally once I would get stuck and feel like I need more help from the universe, from God, whatever you believe in, I would literally like open the book and I would like read one of the like whatever I had decided I would read the right side, so I would read the right side, and that would give me, and it had like a little prayer. It would give me a little hope, and you know, I would be like, okay, I'm gonna pass my test, you know. It would give you like a little reassurance, and that's really really important to like do, like find what are the signs that the universe is giving you. Like I think I asked you before, like if you believed in numerology, right? Numerology is like a big thing. I actually didn't know much about numerology until one of my friends that I met through Instagram. She told me about it, and I started paying attention. Like today, I saw 11/20/20, right? It's crazy. Like you see them all the time, and then once you pay attention, they're like, "You are on the right path." I'm like, "Okay,
I am."
Thank you so much.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be that. It can be anything. But what I believe is, based on who you are, it will be tailored to you because it's supposed to be communicated to you. So it will be communicated to you in a way that you understand. So don't worry about, oh my gosh, it's going to be something I'm not going to understand. No, it will be something you will understand.
Exactly. So omens are basically like signs. Signs that are telling you like, oh, you're on the right path. So paying attention to that. And they're everywhere. They are.
Right. And also lack of signs is another sign. So you keep asking for signs and you don't see anything. Revisit. Revisit while you're seeing it. Right.
Lack of sign. So we had what I really wanted me and you to talk about in this book, because I feel like a lot of people didn't like read this book. So, but I want us to talk about the lessons that we get out of this book. And this book had awesome quotes, right? And some of the quotes, I want to hear your interpretation of this quote. One of them is called, says, making a decision is only the beginning of things. When someone makes a decision, he's really diving into a strong current that will carry him to places he never dreamed of when he first made the decision. How do you feel about this quote, Sarah?
I honestly don't think anything will happen before someone making decision for that to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like step one. Without a step one, how can you jump to step 10? Right? Step one, you have to take every single step to achieve. And also, more importantly, I think it's really important to like write your decision down and keep some people like, have some people like send it to some people. If you want to mail it, you can do it. If you want to do it like old fashioned or new fashioned, however you want to do it, you do it. And let people hold you accountable. I think that's very important because, like life happens, right? There's sometimes that we're like, get so caught up in the routine that we forget about what we had decided and what was our why. Once that we write those down and we share with people that we do trust, of course, not everyone, we share, that will like really, really tremendously help to, keep focused and move forward regardless of the obstacles.
Yeah, and I kind of want you to touch on how the decisions will carry you to places that you never dreamed of when you first made the decision. Can you give an
Right.
example of that on how that?
Yeah, of course. So I can give you guys like an example from my personal life. So let's do like education example, okay? So my decision to like become a pharmacist, right? So originally, when I was, choosing majors, I had like, an opportunity to become a pharmacist, dentist, or, physician. And I chose like, to become a pharmacist. And that like, opened new doors for me that provided me with opportunities like go to graduate school after that. Had I not chosen that, my path would have been completely different. Right? So yeah, and like even like meeting you as a friend, like all those, like I made a decision and like started a business like early 2019, and had I not like made that decision, I probably wouldn't have met you or
You
kept in
would
touch
have
with
now.
you. Exactly.
You would
So
have.
yeah, so that part.
You would have never met me. You would have been in and out. Yes, yes.
I know, we'd be like, okay, thank you so much for your service. Have a great day. So for the guys who don't know, Adiola was my trainer that trained me to have, I'm IB certified pharmacist. So she was the one who trained me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. They didn't know
Yeah,
that.
if it wasn't for like what I learned through my business and became like a more social person, it became like, stuff like that, I was able to like keep in touch with her. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have been able to like keep in touch with her normally. Like I'd be like, okay, thank you so much, have a great day, like bye.
Yes.
And like see you never. Something like that. But like decisions that we make in life, it may not seem that it's a lot, like it may not seem it's important at all, but they are, and they affect our lives in several different ways. And that's why it is important that if you're going to like make a difference in your life, you do make that decision and you go after it, because it's much easier to sit on the couch and watch Netflix versus like building your dreams. So definitely make the decision and move forward with it.
Absolutely. Love that, Sarah. Love that. And then another quote that I love from this book, it says, "When you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you achieve it."
Mm.
I want to hear what you think of that.
This is like my favorite. Honestly, like it is so true. And also, if it doesn't happen, it is another omen to know that it is not meant to be, or it's not the best for you. So it is important to like recognize that, right? So in my like personal experience, when I wanted to like go to graduate school, move here to the US, I'm originally from Iran, and when I was like doing that, like literally people, like I really, really, like with every cell in my body, I wanted to like move here. And I didn't know anyone that could help me. I didn't know, even honestly, didn't know how to like fix my resume or SOP and none of that. Literally people would like appear from nowhere and be like, hey, let me look over your SOP. Hey, let me help you with your resume. Here's this professor that I found. Go apply to him. Like, it's crazy, like literally crazy. So I managed to get like 3 full funded admissions, so like graduate schools for a PhD. And it was just like so crazy because I never thought in my dreams that I would ever be able to do that. But since, I had decided I really, really, really like badly wanted it, and it was meant to be. So people appeared literally, like mentors, like literally appeared from nowhere and just like pushed me through this whole journey. Like I found the friends that we still are friends that I found, like, appeared from nowhere. It wasn't even Facebook. It was like another platform, and we still keep in touch. I had another friend that we don't keep in touch, but this person helped me like look through like my resumes and stuff. And someone, I don't even know who it was, but helped me find someone to like get my, you know, like appointments with the embassy and stuff, like buy my like tickets. Like I can't even tell you like how many people like, help
Came out of
me like
nowhere to help you achieve
from
the goal.
nowhere,
Yeah.
and most of them at no cost to like
And no,
help me with these things, which is completely crazy. But if you really, really want something so badly, and it is meant for you, it is part of your journey, it is part of your purpose, it's going to happen. So that's what happened to me. And once I look back, I'm like, man, that was crazy, and I actually made it.
wow.
Which is really funny.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. That's an amazing story. That's an amazing story. Like
Thank you.
even with this show, it's amazing. Even when I started, I only had like
Yeah,
two guests, and now we're on like this is the seventh episode. Like
it's
wow,
amazing.
so, yeah.
Really, it's very impressive.
I didn't know
That's cool.
I didn't know like the end. I didn't know how I was going to get there, but I knew I just had to start. So and
Exactly.
as of right now, I see God all around me just helping me. So I'm
Yeah,
trusting Him. I'm trusting Him. Right?
that's all you have to do.
Yes.
Yes, have faith
Yes.
and move forward.
Yes. Yes. And there's another question. What else did you learn about yourself during this journey?
I learned that I was better than what I thought. Originally, I thought this is not something I could ever make it. And once I talked to other people, they were like, why not? You know, um, going through this journey, I realized that if I put in a hard situation, I will make it. But before this, since I was one of those kids that I was raised like in, in like a very certain situation, I was like pretty good, I want to say, all that. I never thought I could make it. And even my mom was like, you'll never make it. She probably watching this live right now. My mom was like, not that like you'll never make it like in a bad way, but she was like, dude, like you don't even do your own laundry. Like, how are you gonna make it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you never do your laundry. Like, your room is like a mess. Like, how are you gonna make it? But you know what? When you're put in a different situation, when you are considered a leader versus a follower, you become a different person. You just like have to suck it up and do it. And I sucked it up and did it. So
you basically learned you kind of learned that you were stronger. And
I learned I was a stronger and a smarter than what I thought I was originally. I thought I was just like, like a spoiled kid. That's what I thought I was. Right. And I knew deep down that I can. And every time someone said that I can't, I was like deeply, like extremely, I don't have to explain it, like very passionately offended. Not just a little bit offended, like a lot offended. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to prove all of you wrong. I'm going to make this happen, and this is going to happen. So it did. So,
and I bet so far you've done that. Sara knocks out literally every goal. Like,
oh, thanks.
She sets goals and she knocks it out. She's really amazing. She's really amazing.
You. I appreciate it. So are you. Well.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So now this is gonna be the last quote, right? From that one of my favorite. This is the last quote. It says, before a dream is realized, the soul of the world tests everything that was learned along the way. It does this not because it is evil, but so that we can, in addition to realizing our dreams, master the lessons we've learned as we've moved towards that dream. That's the point when most people give up. I would like to know what you think.
Really, it is, like I said, to achieve a certain goal, you have to become a certain person, right? Like your personality, sometimes our personality has to change, has to become better. And sometimes we haven't achieved that goal yet because we're not that person yet. So let's just be honest about it, right? Like, it is what it is, really. And sometimes we don't become, like I explained about my goal, I wouldn't have become who I've become if it wasn't for those obstacles. And if like every single one of those didn't happen, it wouldn't have happened. But I am it's crazy, but I feel like I am grateful for all those terrible moments that I thought like my life is like is gonna end. Like really, I was like, this is gonna be like a really bad show. Like I'm gonna die now. Like not die, but like the amount of like pressure that you think that like, oh my gosh, like I have failed myself and like my family and everyone, and how the heck I'm gonna get out of this. There are times like that that people go through in life, and it could be health, it could be education, it could be whatever that is. For me, it was education. I was like, wanted to achieve certain things. So um it was one of those things that even though it was very hard for me, like really, the whole journey was very emotional, was very difficult. But I am so grateful for all those that happened. Because of those things that happened, I have made other decisions that have made my life so much better. So, and that just means that I have become a stronger person. I have just like grown within, who I was, and became a completely different person. And I am fine. It's interesting. I'm actually fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, everything that happened, that's what got you to where you are today. Did you ever feel like there was a point where you felt like you were gonna give up?
Oh, many. Not just once. Many, many times that I thought like I won't make it. Like there were many times, especially like when you're like comfortable in your family, like they providing you, they're putting food on your table, like like they're just like it's just so comfortable. You would not think that just like getting up and pack your bags and like move out of your country and go elsewhere and completely another country that your family can't just simply travel to. It's just like it's because of the visa situation. It's just one of those things that I never thought I would be able to actually like do. And there were times that I was like completely defeated, but like just like I said, there were times like that, but mentors literally appeared from nowhere, like literally like was just dropping from everywhere, and I was like, "Who are you even? Who are you to give me hope right now? I don't even know your name." But it really does make a difference. When, like I said, once you're open, universe will send you the teacher, but you have to be open. Like that's the whole thing. You have to be open for a teacher to come. If you're not open, teacher won't come. But once you're open, everywhere is your teacher. Everyone is your teacher. And it will completely change your life. So I think, yes, there were so many times that I was completely defeated. I thought I won't make it. I was like crying in my bed, but I made it. So yeah.
Can you?
Definitely.
Nice, nice.
One of my mentors is actually online. She's saying, "I'm so proud of you." Thank you,
Yeah,
Shireen.
we are. I'm very proud of you too. Like,
thank you.
You made it, and look at us. We're here today, and we're.
Oh my gosh, I know we're all like fancy.
Absolutely. So for a lot of people, I feel like there might be some people on this live session right now, or maybe they might watch this later, that they might feel like they're in such a tough situation and they don't know how to keep going. You were able to get over that, but what did you hold on to that kept you like pushing? Like, I have to figure this out. Can you just shed some light on what you held on to?
Yeah. So Simon Sinek has like a really, really good book. It's called Start With Why. If you really are like struggling with this topic that Adiola just mentioned, do go ahead and read that book, right? So I think my why. I knew what I wanted in life. I knew what was like, what was really pushing me toward what I wanted to achieve. And I had that why down. Like it was my life. It was everything. I had to go. You know what I'm saying? Like I had to like move. I had to achieve that. I had so many. It wasn't even one why. I had like so many whys. Way too many people told me I couldn't do it. So I had to like prove them all wrong. That was one. That was one.
I love
Second,
that.
yeah. Secondly, I knew this, like sometimes you feel so passionate, this is like your why, like you have to do it. It's like nothing else matters, right? That's exactly how I was, and I was like so like laser focused, and I knew it's gonna be hard when I get here. I knew that already. I knew it. It wasn't going to be easy. Like first couple of years, I think I told you, I didn't even realize. I think I was going through like some sort of depression. I didn't even know. I thought it's normal. I thought this was great. I thought this was like fantastic. It was not. It was terrible. But I didn't know. I thought this is how it's always supposed to be. But then I got better, and I was like, this actually wasn't as bad as I thought. And then like, there are other obstacles. There are always obstacles and you have to like go through them. It's just like realizing that, what is your why you're doing a certain thing. Keep that in mind. And like I said, if you want, you can mail it to your friends and family and they can like, keep track of that for you and once in a while remind you.
And what's the name of that book again that you mentioned?
Start with Why. Start with Why, where it's by Simon Sinek.
Simon Sinek. Thank you. So there's some well, let me go ahead and ask you, like, let's cover this for those that haven't read this book, or even those that have read it. I want you to tell me, what is the take home message that you want people to take from this book, if anything?
I want to say two things. First of all, understand and respect other people's journey. Really, like, everyone is at like different point of their lives and they're like going through their journey. You don't know what one is going through. First, so be kind to others and respect other people's journey. And second of all, recognize your own journey and make every effort you can to go through it. Because if you don't, you're going to become this bitter, angry person that is like going to like hate everyone. So you just need to recognize, if you don't do certain things in life, you don't go through your journey, it's going to make you a worse person. So once you recognize that, and you will go through, because this is for you, for your better good. This is for you. It's meant for you. It's there for you. So why not do it and know that while you be going through that, you're going to have support. If you know that you're going to have support, you'll go through it much easier, I think.
Yes, and don't shut off that voice that keeps telling you this is what you're meant to do, right?
Exactly.
Yes. So follow your dreams. Follow your dreams. So guys, we're done here, and I just want to start by thanking Sara for being so awesome and agreeing to join me on this session. So Sara, thank you
for having
so
me.
much. Thank you, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna say bye to Sara. Bye. Thank you, Sara.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Have an awesome evening.
Thank you.
Bye.